close the loophole, or at least partially close the loophole of having a guy on LTIR for the bulk of the season or the whole season, in the case of maybe a Kucherov of old, and then put him in play for the playoffs and doesn't count against your cap because there is no cap in the playoffs in previous eras. Now this doesn't kick in until 26, 27, right? So this coming playoffs is just same old. And I think it tells you something, Jim, that part of this agreement is if they don't like the way it's working, they can reopen the agreement and tweak it a couple of years in, even though this CBA is for a handful of years more. So,
well, that's good. That's good news.
Well, what it tells you, though, is that they're not quite sure, right? If there are unintended consequences from this agreement, because as you know and I know, the one thing that capologists always figure out is another loophole.
That's right. Find the loophole.
When one loophole
Where's
closes,
Waldo? Find the loophole.
When one loophole closes, another one opens. And now it's really quite technical, and I don't even know if it's worth discussing on air. But the bottom line is, you'll still be able to carry guys on LTIR, but there's going to be kind of two classes of LTIR players by my reading of it. There's going to be a class of LTIR player that basically is deemed by the NHL and the NHLPA to have no chance of playing in the playoffs, in which case that's not going to be an issue. You can have him on LTIR. But if you've got a player that is, perhaps in play for the playoffs, in that case, by my reading of this document, you can only carry an extra number on the cap on the LTIR side of it that is equal to the average salary from the year before, which this year was $3.5 million. So they're trying to limit the amount of LTIR that's on the cap for guys who essentially are viable players in the current season or the current playoff season. Whether it'll work or not, whether the capologists will come up with a way to get around it, and we'll have what seems like the status quo, who knows? But the other thing is, Jim, which is going to be incredibly complicated, it seems to me, is that the salary cap in the playoffs is only going to apply to 20 players.
Right. Well, that's how many you can dress.
Right. As opposed to the current 23-man roster.
Yeah.
So I don't know how that's going to work either. It seems
seems
like a headache.
Probably more than one loophole.
I'll tell you who's going to make money off this. The capologists.
Yeah.
Because they're going to need
Look
more
what
of
I've
them.
done. Yeah. or somebody will figure out the loophole, and then the next year everybody will copy it.
Yeah. But there's going to be a lot of cap oversight built into this, I think. Like a lot more cap oversight. Like you're going to need to have guys keeping an eye on if you're compliant, game to game, minute to minute in the playoffs.
Compliance officer.
I don't love it.
Yeah.
I don't love it. I
might explore that.
There's already enough math in sports. This seems like they're adding a lot more math to sports, Jim.
Yeah.
I don't like that.
No. And so in the late hours of the night, Ryan Reeves was moved to San Jose for Henry Thrun, blue liner. And so the Leafs save a couple of $100,000 on that. And I'm told Thrun can be removed from the roster with no penalty, whereas Reeves would have carried some sort of like a $200,000 hit.
Yeah. Well, maybe this is the penalty for Ryan Reeves talking up the merits of living in Vegas to Mitch Marner.
There's a couple guys on that list.
Yeah, Max. We infer from this that Max Pacioretty won't be back with the Leafs too.
And Yarncroc is on his way out.
After he was essentially an employee of the Nevada Tourist Board when it came to Mitch Marner's, apparently now that we understand quite long consideration of life in Vegas, where he basically surveyed everybody who's ever played there, including current Leaf teammates or last year's Leafs teammates. I guess that's it for Ryan Reeves. Maybe the dream of 1,000 games for Ryan Reeves is now alive, because we talked about it the other day, right? He's 88 short or whatever it is.
Yeah, we put the kibosh on it, but so his deal expires this year. But I'm sure if there's a contribution with the Sharks, they could figure out a way how to extend that.
Well, who knows? I mean, hey, as I said at the time, no one expected this guy to play one NHL game. He's played 900 plus.
Yeah.
I'm not going to sell him short.
No, absolutely not. So he was at an event in Vegas, and I believe that trade broke around 10 o'clock our time, which would be 8 there, a very early evening. And he's at an event in Vegas, and here's how he let it slip.
What's the first thing that comes to your mind when you see a line like this of fans waiting to greet them?
It's good to see that they still love me. I'm not going to lie. You guys are actually going to get the first scoops here. They may start hating me pretty soon because I just got traded to the Sharks. So we'll see how that goes over with the fans.
There he was on KTNV television, breaking the news in Fox Sports.
I'll tell you what, that's an impressive lineup of people.
It was.
In midsummer, going to get an autograph of a guy who doesn't even play for your hometown team anymore.
And considering all the other options, all the other entertainment options in that city.
Exactly. Like there is quite a bit to do in Vegas.
What do you want to do? A casino show? No, let's go down and see Ryan Reeves. He's probably going to announce his trade.
Go get Ryan Reeves' autograph on some memorabilia down at the convention center. I don't know, man. I give that town is interesting, man. Every time I've been there for hockey, it surprises me the amount of Golden Knights merchandise you see walking up and down the strip, the amount of Golden Knights paraphernalia you see, and every restaurant's got it behind the bar. Every casino's got it somewhere. Some kind of acknowledgement that the Golden Knights are important to that town. And I think, there's something to be said for being the first big team there, right? They're, baseball's going to move there. There's rumors basketball's going to get there. Obviously, football's there, but hockey was first. The NHL was first. And
you remember the game they played in the parking lot, the Kings and whoever, with the grasshoppers all over the place?
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, it's there's been some crazy moments in hockey history in the Nevada desert. But hey, man, Ryan Reeves is apparently. You can make a check showing up for an appearance in the desert when you don't even play for the team.
Yeah.
How about that?
And announce your trade to San Jose. We're going to play a mini Jerry's. My apologies. I don't like to infringe on anybody else's material, but it is Overdrive, and producer Cam said, got to play mini Jerry's. And I said, so, okay, if you're saying we do, there is a yes guy, no guy in here as well. And that's later on, but I'm going to throw a new game at you. It's called Mini Max.
Okay.
So this is trade deadline. We'll start with the Jays and maybe through the course of the 3 hours get to the Leafs or Raptors. But let's, and subjective, your list. What's the minimum you could take out of the Jays doing at the deadline? What's the max? What's your dream?
Do you want me to start with the min?
Yeah.
I'd say the min in my mini max would be got to be a starter, right? Like they need another arm here. You can't pretend, or you can't really hope that Max Scherzer just continues to keep it together at age 40 with the condition he's been in this season, right? With the thumb, and everybody knows that he's had a hard time finishing seasons in the latter part of his career. So as much as you'd love Max Scherzer to be there for you when it matters,
Be nice, but
it'd be amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, I think his intensity and his experience and his ferocity would be wonderful to have, and contagious even in that dugout. But and then you think about, you've essentially had 3 tentpole starters all year, right? You've had Barrios, Bassett, and Gossman. Those are the 3 guys you can rely on. So you gotta add a big time arm to me. This has got to be a guy that you can count on to extend this rotation and give you more options, because you'd also love to see Alek Manoah back, and there's plans for that, but you can't plan on it.
yeah, that just doesn't have durability written all over it, does it? I mean, regardless of what you get out of him, you'd consider it a bonus, and you sure wouldn't want to have to depend on it just because. It could ruin his career.
Well, that's just it.
Yeah.
That's just it. He's coming back off serious stuff, and you got to